Hi everyone, I'm Amy Johnson-Crowe. They say that a photo is worth 1,000 words, and I certainly believe that that's true, especially when it comes to family history. So imagine if you take those pictures and turn them into a video that you can share on YouTube, on Facebook, or just simply play on your laptop computer at a family reunion or at an anniversary party. Suddenly, everyone's looking at these pictures and really enjoying their family history, whether or not they say that they're interested in genealogy. Today, I'm going to show you how you can easily make a family history video using a free program called Adobe Spark. Adobe Spark is available online at spark.adobe.com. And it's absolutely free to use. Free is a good word. There are actually 3 parts to Adobe Spark. You can make images, you can make complete web pages, or, as I'm going to show you today, how to make videos. And all 3 parts of Adobe Spark are absolutely free. Now, before you get started making any of those things using Adobe Spark, you're going to need an Adobe ID login if you don't already have one. It's free to create. All you need is a valid email and create your own password. One thing that I like to do whenever I'm starting a new project involving lots of photos is to copy all of those photos into one special folder or one special directory. That way, all of the pictures that I'm going to be using are all in one place. It really speeds up the production when I'm making my video or whatever project I happen to be working on. So now, let's dive into making a family history video using Adobe Spark. This is the Adobe Spark website, again at spark.adobe.com. After you log in, you'll be able to see the projects that you've already done, and you can also create new ones simply by clicking on the yellow plus sign. And as I mentioned before, you can create images, or as they call them, posts. You can create pages or videos like we're going to do today. So I'm going to click on video. You can go ahead and give your video a title if you'd like. You don't have to, but let's just call this Family History. And then we'll click Next. Now at this point, Spark wants you to choose what they call a story template. Basically, it lays out the slides that you're going to be using in your video and gives you story prompts. You can completely ignore the story prompts. So don't get too hung up on what story template you choose. Just go ahead and choose one. One of the templates that I have used frequently is one called Show and Tell. When you start to make your video, you'll see that it has basically these different slides that go across the bottom. The first thing that you'll want to do is pick a theme for your video. Now the theme will set the background color of the slides, and it will also set the color and the font of any text that you add. So if we choose the relaxed theme, we see we have this sort of teal turquoise color. Signal gives us a bright yellow background. And as we scroll down, a theme that I like to use is called Wander. You'll see pop-ups that will appear at the bottom of the slide, basically prompting you what to talk about next. It's part of that story template that you chose. You can feel free to completely ignore them. In fact, I just click on the X and get rid of them, just to get them out of the way. So let's start adding some text and some photos. To get started, we'll click on the plus sign that's right in the middle of that slide. And we can choose to add an icon, a photo, or text. Let's go ahead and add a photo. I can add a photo from Creative Cloud, from Lightroom, Dropbox, Google Photos, or I can upload a photo that I have on my own computer, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So I've already chosen the photos that I want to put into my video. This is a video I'm going to create about my dad's 2 service stations. And I want to start with one of my favorite pictures. So I click on the image, and then Spark puts that picture and puts it on the slide. Well, this isn't quite what I had in mind. I was picturing something nice and big. I want this photo, it's kind of going to act as my title slide, sort of the opening credits of my video. So I want this picture to be as big as possible. I can change the layout of this slide by coming up here at the very top of the page and clicking Layout. And I have different options. I could have just, as they call it, one thing on the slide. In this case, I have one photo. I could have 2 slides. I could have thing and caption, full screen photo, or thing and full photo. Let's see what that does. It makes the picture nice and big, makes it a little bit darker, but now I can add text over top of it. And like I said, this is going to be sort of the opening credits, that opening title for my video. So I'm going to call it The Station. Let's move on to the next part. Let's move on to the next slide. Down here at the bottom, you'll see thumbnails representing each slide that you have in your video. So I can just click on the next one. Well, this time I think I would like to have a picture with some text next to it. So I'll choose this 2 things layout. I'll first add a photo. And then next to it, I can add some text. And maybe I'll just say what this is a picture of. What I can do, let's say I want to zoom in on that photo a little bit. If I go back and click on that photo, I can click zoom, and I can zoom in to the important part, which is actually the building. I don't need to see quite as much of the driveway that's in front of the station. I really want to see the building. And by zooming in, I can do that. Now I have the second slide of my video done. I can keep going and click on the third slide down at the bottom. This time, I'll add a photo with a caption. And again, I can click on that photo, zoom in, and get to the part of the photo that I really want people to pay attention to. And then for the caption, I can say, again, I can say a little bit about this picture. This was when they remodeled in 1972. When you start your video, it only gives you a certain number of slides. Don't worry, even when you get down to that last slide, And I'll go ahead and fill this in for you just very quickly so you can see what happens. Well, what happens if we want to add another slide after this? Over here at the beginning, there's a white thumbnail with a plus sign. Just click that thumbnail, just click that plus sign, and you have a brand new slide, and you can keep adding as many slides as you want to. What's a movie without sound? You can add both music and voiceovers to your Spark videos. To add music, go up to the top of the page and click on the music icon. And you can choose to have no music at all, but if you want to have some music, they're arranged in sort of mood categories. If you're telling the story of your pioneer ancestors and all of the trials and tribulations that they went through, Ukulele Stroll might not be the best choice of music for your video. When you find a piece of music that you want to include, just go ahead and click on the title. Now, as I mentioned, you can also add voiceovers to your Spark videos. To do that, go to the slide where you want to have your voiceover. Let's say that I want to have something at the very beginning. So I can click down here on that thumbnail, bring up that slide, and then all I need to do is click and hold this microphone icon. As long as you are clicking and holding that red microphone, you're going to be recording your voice and it will become part of your video. So I could add a little introduction about who I am, why I'm making this video, the date I'm making this video, and just give people an introduction to what it is that they're going to be watching. Again, that's just by holding down that red button. As long as you're holding it down, you're going to be recording. One thing to keep in mind is that anytime you have a slide that has text, you need to give people enough time to read what's on that slide. You can control how long a slide will appear in your video by clicking down at the bottom of the slide. In this case, it says 2S. That means this slide will appear in the video for 2 seconds. Now, I'm a pretty fast reader, but I don't think that's quite enough time to make it all the way through this caption. So I can click on that 2S and I can slide it all the way up to 10 seconds. I think I'll just leave it at 4. And then anytime that I have a slide that I want to be longer than 2 seconds, I can just click on that little button down at the bottom of the slide and control how long that slide will appear. As you're going along, you might want to preview your video to see how things are flowing together. To do that, you can click down on the play arrow at the very bottom left corner. That will play the entire movie that you have so far. To play just one slide, perhaps to hear how your voiceover went, you can click the play button that's on just that one slide. Let me show you the final video that I ended up with.
This video is dedicated to my dad, Errol Johnson. It's about a special place that he owned, a place where we 3 girls loved to be, a place we called the station.
When you're done with your video, you've put everything together, you have all the voiceovers, and you're ready to share it with the world, you can download that video. At the top of the page, click on the Share button. And then click the Download button. Spark will prepare your video for download. Depending on how long it is and how many voiceovers you have, it could take a while. When your video is ready, just tell it where you want the file to be saved. And there you've done it. You have created your own family history video for free with Adobe Spark. Now you can take that video and upload it to YouTube, share it on Facebook. Just imagine if you made several of these short little videos and just had them playing on loop on a computer at your family reunion or at a graduation party or at an anniversary party. That would really draw people in and maybe spark an idea, spark an interest about their family history. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope that you enjoy making more videos with Adobe Spark. And until next time, I'm Amy Johnson Crow. Go make more discoveries.